Should we do some nerdy news now?
I think we should. I think that's enough talking about ourselves.
Yeah. Felt cringe. No parasocial relationships. Right. So, the reason I've included this is A, because it's very impressive, but B, because I finally watched Dune last week.
I still need to watch it.
Yeah. So, I wanted to watch it ages ago, and that's always with the amount of stuff we cover, it fell to the wayside.
Mm.
And then one of our friends was like, do you want to go watch Dune 2? And I was like, I do, but we've not seen the first one yet, so let's watch that quickly. Just give me a deadline and I get so much quicker.
Watch Dune quickly.
Yeah, it's only like 2.5 hours. Easy. It's crazy that I could just find 2.5 hours when I need to. It's crazy.
But can't watch The Bear, though.
I'm working on it. I'm going to fight this, man. How long did it take you to watch The Boys?
Like a week?
How long did it take you to watch The Boys?
No. A week. You're not asking how long it took me to start watching The Boys.
How long did it take you to start watching The Boys?
Sorry, my lawyer's not present at the moment.
Yeah. Anyway, so Dune Part 2 comes out tomorrow as we're recording this. But there's been obviously loads of advanced screenings, critics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So after 200 critic reviews on Rotten Tomato, it is currently at 96%. It was on 100% up until like 80 reviews or something, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
And it is currently the highest rated film ever on IMDB at like 9.6 or something. 9.7 maybe. Which is just crazy. And that's made me even more hyped to go and see this film.
Fair.
I've seen a lot of people talking like this is like a once in a generation kind of film. So we shall see. If I have any strong opinions, maybe I'll give a short review on it after I've seen it. It's gonna really suck if everyone's like this greatest film ever, and I'm like, it was fucking mid.
I feel like I'm gonna need to go hurry up and watch Dune 1 so I can see Dune.
Do you know what it is? I feel like a bad nerd for not being caught up on it.
See,
do you ever get that with like certain nerd things? They get popular, and you're like, but I'm a nerd. Like that's part of my personality. How am I not up to date on this?
It's like I know the Dune books is like quite a nerd grail of a book, and it's like
it's like sci-fi meets high fantasy.
It's like I've never paid any attention to it, and then the film's great and everyone raves about it, and the second one I'm like, I should really watch this.
I need to get back into reading proper books, and not just comic books, but I need to catch up on my comic books before I can pick up a 400-page fucking masterpiece. Anyway, Jeffrey Wright, who played Commissioner Gordon in The Batman, has said he'd like to cover more of Gordon's personal life in The Batman 2. He said this in an interview with Discussing Film.
Okay.
It's really interesting because I think the quote used, and I don't have the quote written down, so I might misquote slightly, but he basically said while talking to Matt Reeves, he said, yeah, Batman wears a cowl, and that's like part of the dichotomy. You've got Batman and you've got Bruce Wayne. He's like, but Commissioner Gordon kind of does as well. He's Commissioner Gordon and he's James Gordon. There's a difference there.
Yeah.
So he's like interested to potentially explore that. And I think that'd be quite interesting because if you do it right tonally, I think that can really give a two sides of the same coin. Pardon the Two-Face joke.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. There's definitely a way, especially with Matt Reeves' Batman, to show more of his kind of family side, personal side, would probably show you why he leans more to wanting to help Batman and include him. I could show that side of him.
Bearing in mind we've got the DCU coming, which is going to have its own Batman. I'm all in for Matt Reeves to stop trying to make the Batman films marketable to a wider audience too much and just go, right, 3.5 hours graphic noir. Like we're not even going to try and dial it down a little bit to make it more appealing. We're going to let the first one speak for itself, and the people who want this style will come see this style.
It wouldn't surprise me if James Gunn's already said to him, like, feel free to like, you don't feel you have to like fit this into anything.
The only issue might be if like that does limit how much budget they can reasonably expect.
I think he's proven it enough with the first one that he should get a fair budget going forward now.
Variety has
Mm.
reported that a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem sequel will be coming out in October 2026.
Yes,
I
they
think the
have.
preliminary date is October 9th, 2026.
I don't know. But yeah.
I don't think that's a surprise to us.
No. I mean, we already
Awesome animation style. The
knew.
film did really well.
Yeah, and I think we knew the second one got greenlit because they
Yeah.
also were doing a TV series.
Yes. That's
So
coming to Paramount Plus or whatever.
yeah, some point.
So yeah, it's cool to know that it's on the way. It's a long old wait.
It is.
2.5 years plus.
Yeah. I mean, it's animation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do not want animators to be right. It just sucks when I hate announcing stuff this early.
I mean, here's the thing. We know from the end of the first one, it's probably going to lean to Shredder. So it's like,
I'm so ready to
ready.
see Shredder in this fucking animation style. It's gonna be class.
That should be good.
Hollywood Reporter has claimed early work has begun on Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power Season 3. Hopefully, this will mean that the downtime between Season 1 and 2 isn't. Oh, sorry, between 1 and 2 isn't repeated between 2 and 3.
I hope so.
Because Season 1 ended back end of 2022?
Yeah, and we guessed it. The rumor was it would probably be early 2024, and that's.
I mean, that would have been affected by strikes.
Yeah, which then obviously got affected. So we don't actually know when Season 2 is coming yet. I think the prediction is this summer.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier about binge watching stuff. This is part of the problem with binge watching stuff now. Asking your viewers to still give a fuck about your franchise after potentially 2 years for a second season is a tough sell.
Yeah. Especially because it was a bit like mixed response to Rings of Power. We enjoyed it. There was obviously certain fans.
A lot of people didn't.
Yeah, there was a lot of fans of the books that felt they strayed too far away from things. Whether that's right or wrong is your own opinion. But yeah, I hope there isn't as big of a gap between season 2 and 3 because I do think that'll just hurt the series even more.
Yeah. There is always a sweet spot between don't rush it, make sure you do the best job you can, but also don't work on it for so long that by the time it comes around, everyone's forgotten about it and doesn't care.
Yeah.
And it's the nature of the beast, isn't it?
It is.
But hopefully this is a good sign that season 2 is almost wrapped up altogether, all the way through post. And that hopefully we won't have to wait as long for season 3. This is a funny bit that I think only belonged in the news.
Okay.
After Rebecca Ferguson, actress from Dune, let slip in a press junket for Dune 2 that she has an actor she'll never work with again after they shouted at her on set to the point of tears, the internet is desperately trying to guess who they think it is.
Yeah, it was something along the lines of like multiple times and would be like, this is what I'm working with, and would like.
Yeah. So I think one of the bits that really pissed off the internet was she said it was like near the end of the day and I accidentally fumbled my line slightly, which isn't uncommon on a movie set. And the person she was working with in the scene just absolutely went ballistic, talking about how unprofessional she is and was just really rude and horrible. And this person had been belittling other people on set, including crew members. So she said after that, any project that person was attached to, she had no interest in working with. So people are desperately trying to work out who it was. The leading theory for a little while was The Rock.
Oh, till he tweeted or whatever post out.
So this is the thing. He then tweeted saying, "Oh, I whoever did this is an absolute scumbag. I hope we can deal with this." And everyone, it's gone two ways. They're like, "Okay, it's not him. On to the next." And then a bunch of other people have gone, I see through your lies, Mr. Dwayne Johnson.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, what if he doesn't realize it is him? But
that's crazy.
I'd like to think. I know he has a big ego, but I'd like to think that he is self-aware enough. Though he pushes himself on every project. I don't think we necessarily ever hear anything about him being terrible for the most
I'd
part to work. Like,
imagine he would be rude in a closed meeting room, but not on an open set with crew members, because
no.
that shit would spread like wildfire.
And let's be honest, he came from wrestling, where a lot of that is all about publicity and press and keeping a good face,
Yeah.
good press. He knows how to present himself and not get himself in hot water. So I doubt it is him.
Another popular theory at the minute, people have been looking back at stuff she's worked on,
Mm.
was Emily Blunt.
Oh
But
yeah.
Emily Blunt very quickly shushed that room, was like, no, we're good friends, we talk quite regularly. So now the leading candidate is apparently Jake Gyllenhaal,
Oh.
who has been accused a number of times on set of being a bit weird. I don't think he's been accused of anything like heinous on set, but he's been
Mm.
accused of being quite weird on set before. And
Mm.
apparently during one project, they were trying to shoot a late night scene and he just ran and jumped in the ocean because the ocean was calling to him. So by the sounds of it, he's a bit of a weird guy to work with.
Sounds like he works high.
Yeah. So
Mm.
it'll be interesting to see if the internet does manage to sleuth their way out of this and work out who it was. One of my favourite ones was there was a child she worked with on a show called, I think his name's Jason Tremblay, and he's like 12 years old.
Oh,
So
that'd be
someone
amazing.
created a fake tweet using his picture from the show, just going, I just shouted at this bitch at work today and no one said anything. I own this city.
That would be amazing.
That was really funny. So yeah. Look, the internet is having a lot of fun with that at the minute, and I hope to find out who it is. I would love for her to get asked in like her next press junket, like, you let the story slip, and the internet wants to know who it was. And at this point, it's not even bad PR for her to out them.
No. Well, the problem would be is if she outs them and then they try to get it done for like defamation or something, and she doesn't have like physical any evidence to prove that they did do that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It would be a bit techie, but
Because if there's someone who the person that's done this sounds like they wouldn't be past like doing something like that to try and
yeah.
get it shut down. So
Yeah, I thought that was very funny. Let us know down below who you think it was, if you have any leading theories. And then a last little bit of scummy news that's less funny. LA Times have reported that in a new lawsuit, Amazon have been accused of using AI voices in the Roadhouse remake, during the strike to stop the film from missing its release window and potentially causing them to lose their copyright protection or whatever. So it sounds like they've been accused of using actors who were cast in the films, voices, via AI, so the film could still progress during the strikes.
That's going to be such a tough one to prove, though.
It is. And Amazon are really, really good at not losing lawsuits, because when you don't pay your workers fairly, you can pay the lawyers a lot of money.
It's true. I mean, I feel like it's going to be one of those things that'll either get quietly settled or it'll just, nothing will come out from it. Because they can't substantially prove that it is AI voices.
What we really, in reality, need with how scary AI is we need this to be kept big news. We need them to get found guilty and find a metric fuck ton so that the precedent is set that just scares studios away from it.
Yeah. We need an example made, unfortunately, but like,
and
I do think
there is no fine you could give Amazon that would sink that company. So just take them for all they're worth. AI is terrifying right now. There's not enough protections. So we need to take everything like this and just hope for a really aggressive outcome in favor of the actors or whoever, so that the precedents are set.
Yeah, it does need something like that, unfortunately.